Look, IS 17025 is the set of guidelines that a lab should follow, then only the test will be reliable. So when a lab wants to do tests, it have to get accreditation from a body called NABL, and they apply for it, and what kind of scope they have, what kind of test they want to do, and what is their range, and what is the uncertainty they're getting when doing test in that range. Those are the things that will be that will be given in the scope, and they will apply for it, and the auditors will come and test whether the so-called lab is having all the requirements that were given in the IS 17025. If you got that accreditation, the results you are producing are reliable in India and also all over the world. You can do business only if you have that kind of accreditation, especially in my case, I work in the residue department, like food residue, where we check different kinds of harmful residues present in the food products. So I tell what the auditors will check in the technically what the auditors will check in the food residue department. The first thing they check is whether your methods are validated. That is the first thing they will check, whether you get proper recoveries, whether your methods are validated, and while doing validation, whether you are following the SANTE guidelines or any other guidelines that is recommended for validation. That's the first thing they will check, and after that, whether you have instruments and all, whether you have proper infrastructure for doing all the tests that is mentioned in the scope, because depends on the scope. You may need a centrifuge at low temperature, or like a nitrogen operator. A lot of things you may need depends on the scope. First they take test whether a method is validated, and then they will check whether you have all the things needed to do that method. And they will check the standards, whether you procured all the standards needed for the test. They will check that, and everything is checked with the documents. With auditors, only the documents will talk. And while comparing with the pharma people audit, NABL food residues audit, they don't review with the documents. They don't check it uh, too much like the pharma people. Pharma people, they dig a lot into a document, and they ask a lot of questions. But NABL auditors are not like that. They know what they are doing. They are experienced in that field, and technically also they are good. They don't ask too much questions about the document. Uh, but technically they will ask a lot of questions. Make sure you produce documents for all of things, your personal file and your QC charts, your CRM checks, and everything. All the documents you keep it proper for the NABL people. Then only you can have a smooth audit. And the next thing is the witness test, and that is very important, because if you mess up the witness test, it's very bad. Actually, you must be doing it for a long time, therefore it's not a problem. And then only you must have applied for the accreditation. Therefore you know what you're doing. Therefore witness test will not be a problem here, because it feel like an exam. That's the only problem. Other than that, it's like a regular day thing. Every day we do tests. It's the same test we do, but it feels like an exam because they will check you like that. That's the only thing. And whether you are properly calibrated the things, the instruments that they will check. Other than that, it's a regular show. My first audit is it's pretty smooth. They don't ask me much. It's a 2-day audit. It was pretty smooth from my point of view. Other than the technical thing, they also check the management overall quality, and that you have to see the guideline. But from my part, it's not very complicated. It's very smooth, and I'm looking forward for more like this.